I've been wanting to get back out on my KTM 390 adventure, and the number one thing I needed to do was replace the tires. So we're gonna do that, but we're gonna use the Rabaconda Street Tire changer to see how it goes. So if you wanna see what tires that I'm gonna be using this summer on this bike and how the Rabaconda tire changer works with these wheels, we'll get to that. Hey, how's it going? Welcome to my channel. You're likely going to hear some thunder in the background. I am currently waiting for a thunderstorm to pass through. It is right over the road that I am planning to take to get to my campground tonight. So in the meantime, let's talk about tires. So I really like the Bridgestone Battle AXE AX41, and so that's what I have on my front tire. I also really like the Heidenau K60 Scout in the size for this bike, which is the 130/80/17, because it does not have that center strip that most of the K60 Scouts do. So it's a more open tread design. And in the past, I've been able to get close to 5,000 miles, of which a lot of that was just road miles. So that's what I've put on. One of the things I really like about this tire setup is it's $310 with shipping and handling to the house. I think it was $140, $142 for the front tire, and I think $150 for the rear tire, which is really fantastic. So $300 tires that I know on this bike I can get about 5,000 miles. So I don't like spending $400 or $500 on tire sets. It just, I go through them a lot, and maybe they'll get a few extra thousand miles than this, but this is a tire setup I've been very happy with. So that's the cost. Now, I've also done something else, is I've gone back to the cast wheels instead of running the spokes. I am just tired of dealing with tubes right now, and I knew that being out here on these dirt roads where I'm riding today and where I plan to go this summer and things that I plan to do, I don't need to have a spoke wheel. I'm not going to be riding that hard. I'm not riding that challenging of terrain. If I do any BDRs, I usually bypass all of the expert sections because I'm riding by myself. To make things easier, installing tires on a tubeless setup, I don't have to mess with the tube, so that goes much faster. And then if I do get a puncture, it's much faster to deal with. Now, I will say I always carry a spare tube with me. So for this particular trip, I'm carrying a front tube. I could put it in the back and air it up just to get me somewhere if I needed to, and just be conservative riding. So normally I'll carry a tube for front and back just in case something goes really, really bad. So let's shift over and do the tire removal and install using the Rabaconda. All right, I'm going to try the bead breaker. I had some difficulty using this the last time on the last tires, so we're going to give this a try again. All right, I have tried to use this bead breaker, and I cannot get it to bust the bead on this. So I have the other side busted, but I use my Tusk bead breaker, and that worked really easily. The problem I have is the rotor on this is too big for the Tusk bead breaker to sit inside there without taking the rotor off, because the front rotor is so big. So that makes it very problematic to try to get this tire off. So I may have to just manually break this, because this is, I don't know what the deal is. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. And I have tightened this up so that it doesn't slide up, but what happens is it ends up slipping over the tire. So I don't know. As far as being a bead breaker, I haven't had success with it. All right, I use a lot of lube, whether I'm doing it manually or using this thing. So I bought the lube with it. Like that. Oh, that was easy. That was easy. Oh, I'll take that. That was fast pulling it off. Doing it by hand is a real challenge. So that was easy. Now let's get the new tire put on. I double and triple check tire rotation because I always end up inevitably getting it wrong. I don't know why that happens. So I'm gonna lube this bead up to get it to go on. Easy. We'll see how this goes. So just throw some on the wheel. I don't think this has a red dot, if I remember correctly. Yeah, no red dot on this. No, so first side I was able to push on, so I didn't even have to use this. Okay. All right. So this time I popped it over both sides. I'm still learning to use this. Yeah, that's the way to do it. Oh, that went in really easy. I had a lot of trouble. So using the bead lock should keep the tire from popping out. It will also keep the tire in the drop center. I had tried using these on my 21s with putting a tube in, and I just couldn't figure out how to get those to stay on. So let's give that a try. All right, now I just need to get this off. All right, that was really easy compared to what I've struggled with in the past. I'm not so keen on the bead breaker on this. You know, I don't know what's going on with that. But as far as getting the tire put on, taking it off and putting it on, even though I had to break the bead myself, it is still faster than if I were to do it all manually, just with tire levers. So it was expensive, but I think over the years and having multiple bikes, it will be worth it. All right, I usually am able to pop the first bead on just by lubing it up, so that makes it super easy, even with the Heidenau K60 Scout.
All right, that was extremely easy just to spin this on. So, especially for Heidenau K60 Scouts, that's the easiest it's ever been.
All right, there you have it. The Rabaconda tire change on the KTM 390 Adventure cast wheels. 19 front, 17 rear. I am having difficulty getting that thing to break the bead. I don't know, it just slides up. Maybe I'm not pinching something tight enough with the bolts. I haven't been able to figure out what the deal is. I had the same issue trying to change the tires on my 10RA 700. I also could not get that bead to break using the Rabaconda. So I'm not exactly sure what the deal is, but as far as taking a tire off and putting it on, it was so easy. To me, it's worth it. And I tend to change tires 2 to 3 times a year on different bikes. So, it's a bit of an expense, but if you were to take it into the shop, I think 3 or 4 tire changes and it's paid for. So, yeah, that was the experience. And these are the tires that I'm using on this bike. And based on, if you've been following my channel, I've had some issues with another bike. I wanted to get back out on this one and get some miles on it, do some moto camping, and just get away from it all. So that's what I'm doing. If you made it to the end, let me know if you have a Rabaconda street tire changer and if you're also having issues getting it to break the bead, or if you have any tricks for getting it to break the bead. I would love to hear that, because that's one of the features, and perhaps I'm doing something wrong. And if you have a tire setup that you prefer on your bike with front and rear tires that are meant for off-road, let me know that down below. Yeah, so anyway, if you haven't done it yet, do that thing down below. Get out, do some riding, ride safe, and I will see you out there. I am putting new tires on the KTM 390 Adventure, partly because my Aprilia Touareg 660 is in San Jose, which is 1,200 miles away from me, and going through warranty work. So I want to do some moto camping while I'm waiting for that, and the bike needed new tires.